Give me that title card, baby. Yes! Yes, we did it! We did it! Okay, did we shoot the lady? Okay. Alright, hold on a minute here. Let's turn this down quite a bit, if we can. Alright. That's credits, baby. We did it. First things first. The bottom center of the screen says that we've beaten 8 games. 7 games this year. I'm frazzled because of this game. And 454 since we started doing this in 2020. Those numbers are now falsehoods. We've now beaten 8 games in 2024 and 455 since we started doing this in 2020. Let's go. All right. Yeah, I have some thoughts. Let's talk about this game. So, first of all, I just want to come out right out the gate and say that regardless of how I feel about this game preference-wise as a personal gamer in 2024, I see very clearly, even playing the game now, the very clear significance in the quality of the open world, the ability to basically do anything you want, the quality of how well the vehicles drive, which is a big part of the game. The combat is actually pretty decent too. I mean, like, this game must have blown people the hell away in 2001. It must have blown people away. I realize this is a remaster, so it looks a little bit prettier, but I saw footage of the original. It's not that different. And it's regardless of how I feel about it, the historical significance and the quality of the game, and really, even today, the gameplay holds up fairly well. So let's go ahead and get into that. The combat is a little janky, but it's fun. It's quite fun. The variety of weapons that you have, the different kinds of missions that you go on that require you to kill people in different ways and do all kinds of other objectives. It's cool. It's fun. It's quality gaming. The story is whatever. But the idea that you working for all these different mob bosses and different people all around town, these warring factions that have conflicting goals, and you're kind of bouncing between them, and it's all well structured. The mission structure is very good. So that's good too. And really, honestly, the what kept me going was 2 things. The vehicle driving is just a lot of fun, and you have to do that a lot. There's a lot of driving. So it would have been a real slog if the driving was not well controlled. And it is. It is. The driving is really good. And then the second thing was the different kinds of mission objectives. You know, it does a really good job of keeping things fresh. Like, it's not just racing and escort missions over and over again like it is in some story modes in games with a heavy vehicle element. There's all kinds of different things that you have to do. All kinds of people you have to kill in all kinds of different ways. I mean, it's very good at keeping things fresh. And I really did enjoy this game at times. Toward the middle, especially, when I was starting to hit a stride, and I'm knocking one mission down after another. I really was enjoying it. I was really having a good time. Now, let's talk about some issues. There's not that many. Really, honestly, it's not that janky. It's not like it's aged poorly. The game is actually aged really well. I don't know if the controls are modernized for the remaster or whatever, but the controls were good. It just plays very well. That's not my issue. The only issue I really had was that some of the missions. This music is distracting as hell. Some of the missions were. Some of them were really. Some of my favorite ones were the most difficult ones. So some of them were difficult in a way that was just like, oh God, this is really tough to try and do these things in this quick succession and do it right. Man, this is hard. You know, I've got to buckle down and just really concentrate and focus on trying to do it better. And those were my favorite missions. What's this shit? Complete the exchange. Yeah, that's fine. We're done. We're done. And some of the missions were not intuitive at all and were very difficult in the wrong way. In that I had to use a walkthrough to figure out what I was even supposed to do. I always say that there's a fine line between the best difficulty and the worst difficulty. And it's really, the dividing line is, do I understand why I'm not doing it right? Because there were missions in this game that I understood it. They were hard and I died a bunch, but I understood exactly why. And there were some missions that I would just immediately blow up, or immediately a cop would show up and I don't know why and the game didn't explain it, or I would immediately just get a mission failed or something, or I would be ambushed in a way that it's like, not only was I going to definitely die that time, but it's like, I don't even know how I can do that better next time. The final mission was bad, I think, in my opinion. I just don't think it was very good. It was very difficult, but not in the right way. Some of the later missions were great, and they were really hard, and I died a bunch, but the shooting the airplane down was the hardest mission in the game, but I thought it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. The final mission? Fuck the final mission, man. I had no idea what to do until I looked it up. I feel like you'd have to play it 50 times, and just trial and error until you figure out what you're supposed to do. The game doesn't even really tell you. So, that happened probably 3 or 4 times. There were 3 or 4 missions that were hard for the wrong reasons, and it was just a slog. The only other thing really is that this kind of mission structure, it allows you to blow through it. This game is supposed to take 15 hours main story only. Usually those main story only estimates are fairly accurate for the way I play. I did it in way less than half of that, I think. Under 10 for sure. I blew through it, and it was just the way that's really fun for me, but it's not one of those games that really forces you to live in it. And so I guess preference wise, that's a preference thing again. I was really enjoying just checking off the boxes. Let me just say this. I recognize that this is definitely one of the good examples, one of the best examples of the games that I don't play the way they should be played, right? Like I said before, I recognize how important this game was and how much it must have blown people's minds when it first came out. But a lot of probably those minds were blown by just fucking around in the world, not even doing missions, That's how I played GTA 1 when I was in high school. I didn't ever play a single mission. I just would see how much trouble I could get into. So I recognize that I'm missing out on that. And that's fine, whatever. But honestly, I really did enjoy the game. I just, it's not exactly my kind of game. That's all. This kind of game is, not exactly for me. It's important, and that's mainly why I wanted to play it. I didn't want to play it because it's going to be one of my favorite games. I knew that wasn't going to be the case going into it. But it was fun. It held up fairly well. It held up really well, I would say. So I'm glad that this definitive edition has given it a new coat of paint, because maybe more people like me will be interested in playing it for the first time. I did enjoy it. All right, that's it. We did it. Last order of business. Grand Theft Auto 3. It's been fun, but we are now going to delete you from our console and never play you again. Bye. Bye.